This is an overview of the RAD system for creating photo books. In this example, we're going to create a new album project for Michael and Jenny, and we're going to upload the JPEG files that are going to go into this album. And the uploading process is clever in that way that the high resolution files are scaled down to thumbnails before they're uploaded to the server, so that goes quite fast. And once the photos have been uploaded, you can start designing spreads and your cover for your book. Just doing the last photos here, and now it's finished. And some new buttons will appear. So let's edit the spreads. And this is the designer part of RAD, where you drag your photos onto the spread. And each time you do, you can drag a photo back to the bar and save your spread. And then the spread will be saved as a thumbnail. You can zoom in on the photos by using your mouse wheel or mouse pad. Every time you drag photos onto the spread, templates will be shown, and you can select between different layouts very easily. And in this case, we're going to change the background color for the next spread to black. I'm going to grab some photos of the groom here, and I'm also going to make the borders white. When you have a photo across the whole spread, there's a thin line that shows you where the gutter is, the middle of the spread, so you don't accidentally put someone's eye there. Okay, so we're back. We've done a few more spreads. Just going to do the last one here, which is actually going to be the first spread. And here I'm going to choose a user-defined template that I have, and which allows me to have text below. This spread I want first, actually, so I'm going to drag and drop that spread so that it appears first. I'm going to move some other ones here as well. And once I'm finished, I can always come back and change a spread. In this case, I think I want a white background instead, and let's get rid of the white borders that you can't see, but there. So we'll save that and finish, and when we come back to the manager, we have a little flipbook already, so you can proof your album. Let's do a cover for this book, and also here you just drag and drop. Some photos are not suited for that because they would extend, the photo would be printed on the back of the book as well. So we're going to go with this photo, and if you want, you can go with that, or you can refine to a particular album company and one of their sizes. So I'm going to do a 25 by 25 QT here, and then in this case the guidelines are showing the width of the spine. And so now when you invite the client to look at your album via this mechanism, you'll get a link that you send to them, and they will see exactly this welcome message. And they can flip through the album, and they can simply click on one of the spreads to write a comment. So the comments are numbered 1, 2, 3, etc. So it's easy to reference another comment. So these comments will be stored on the server and forwarded to you once they've finished writing all their comments. We're going to add one more comment here, just for this example. And then when you finish up, you'll get into this overview mode where you can see all the spreads, all the comments that's been written. So we're imagining we're the client here. If we're happy with all the comments, they can submit the comments to the photographer. You will get an email and you'll come in and do another version of the book. Now let's say you want the real spreads. So for the first time you would sign up with your address. So you would specify your address, if you have a VAT number, if you're a photographer outside Sweden, you can deduct you wouldn't have to pay the VAT. So what we're charging for is just the downloading of the real spreads. We don't charge for album layout, album proofing, so you can create albums on speculation. But I'm going to go ahead and choose an annual subscription here. So when I come back, I have a 1-year subscription that allows me to do as many albums and spreads as I want. So I'm going to download a Photoshop script now, because I'm a Photoshop user. The most flexible way to use RAD then is to download a script, run that inside Photoshop, and this script needs to know where the high-res files are stored. So I'm going to tell it first where those JPEGs are. There they are. And then I also need to tell the script where I want the spreads. So I'm going to create a new folder parallel to their photos. Call them spreads. And the album type that I want to generate has already been selected because I'd chosen a QT cover. So when you run this, it's going to give you a message that it's your responsibility to check the spreads once they've been generated, and it just gave me a warning there that QT doesn't actually have a cover for 14 spreads. They need 15. So now what it's doing is building all those spreads and saving them as JPEG and PSD files in the right dimensions, with the right DPI, with the right color profile. And here we see in Bridge each spread's being generated in both JPEG and PSD format. JPEG obviously is what you send to the album manufacturer, and the PSD file is if you want to make some editing, post-processing on your spreads, some fancy artwork in the background, or putting in your logo, or anything you can imagine that the album layout program can't do. So now we generated all the spread. There's one spread left, and there it is. And then we can look at one of the files. Let's look at one of the portraits here. So when you open this, you can see in full detail that it's high resolution and everything's flush and aligned. So that's the overview of the RAD system.